Okay, y'all. I have some serious and important content to get to for today, but I wanted to at least start y'all off with a chuckle. This woman posted this and said she surrenders, she's over dating. So this man hits her up with a text message. Hey, beautiful. I hope you remember me. She's like, yeah. Hey, what's up? He says, you seem like a nice vibe, though, but looks can be deceiving. You should hit me up, though. She said, I'm pretty great. I'm a pretty great vibe, but I'm biased. LOL. But thank you. Sorry. What's biased? Does it mean you're bipolar? Okay. Nerd humor, grammar humor. The whole you're bipolar. They struggle so hard with your, but this is already funny to me. The responses from the ladies makes it even funnier. This woman says, a child left behind with a sad emoji. Someone else is laughing her butt off. And then somebody else is doing a stifled laughter picture. This woman at the bottom says, this can't be real life. These idiots are really just out here living and breathing or whatever. And she said, the bottom person says, like literally, not reading a book, just podcasts and vibes. So this person at in the middle says, bless their heart. And then Chrissy Pie just grand opening, grand closing. And I'm just LOLing throughout this whole thing because the comments were hilarious. So now that I have started you off with a little laughter, I now have a parade of red flags to talk about, just waving. A woman posted this yesterday, and it's just a long list of reasons why she shouldn't be dating him, as far as I can see. This woman says, I'm dating someone who says he would describe himself as the male Candace Owens. That right there would be enough to make some women walk away. Okay, but let's read. So I meet a seemingly amazing black man, great chemistry, fine, amazing in bed, affectionate, good money, very generous, a homeowner. But he doesn't identify as black. He said that race is a sociological concept and doesn't exist, which is true, but he's told me about this document that lists black as anyone who is in an African racial group and told me African racial groups don't exist, which means race is just meant to divide us. He says he's American Indian because his grandma is Cherokee, which I don't believe. The man is blackety black, very much a natural, holistic vegan. We had a convo a few weeks ago that has just flipped my perspective and maybe even respect for him. We argued a bit about feminism and homosexuality. He said homosexuality is unnatural and most gay people have a hormonal imbalance, which can be fixed with holistic health. He used to be a herbalist. I'm pan questioning, and I do have a hormonal imbalance, so I couldn't argue with his experience, but it just sounds like homophobic dogma wrapped up in holistic wellness ideology. I'm pausing to show y'all some of the comments. This person is just waving a bunch of red flags. Somebody else says more red flags waving at a UN plaza and at the Hague combined. Nah, better to be single forever than having Uncle Ruckus for a dating pool. Okay, so this person says it got worse the more I read. This person says, I'm glad I stopped 5 sentences in. And any conclusion says, I told myself to stop at the title and vaguely scanned a few more words, protecting my peace on this one. So now that you guys know that this is pretty bad, let's continue. Okay, so the woman says, I even told him to read some bell hooks as I am open to learning more about holistic health. He loves Dr. Inky and Dr. Africa. I read something from All About Love by Hooks, and he said that she's generalizing women and doesn't agree that women's sexual liberation stems from feminism. The man tried to argue about feminism with one of the most prolific Black feminists, for Christ's sakes. I'm getting my PhD in English and I study Black feminist literature. So it's something I'm passionate about. It sucks that I can't even discuss it without feeling like I'm having to defend my own existence as a Black woman in America. I don't know where the non Black thing came up, but he said that he doesn't even believe kids need to learn about Martin Luther King, just learn family values. He said that white privilege isn't a real thing anymore, and Black people who feel oppressed are only oppressed in their minds. He also told me the other day that if I got fat, barring mental health or postpartum, he'd leave me. He says he knows it's harsh, but it means that I wouldn't be performing my wifely duties. I've also noticed that I hesitate when making food choices, and I noticed that if he'd I'm sorry, that I asked if he judged me for ordering dessert. There's more, y'all. I can see where he's tried to slowly change me. He's joked that he'd throw away my medication and antidepressants. He makes me smoothies with sea moss every morning and makes me take a tablespoon of sea moss at night. He refused to buy me flu medication when I had the flu and instead gave me herbs and tea. He has me do workouts with him in the morning. One time I asked to go to my fave burger place and he refused and said he'd take me to a vegan place. Then he realized as we were going on the way there that he was forcing me to go. So we went where I wanted. I do want to be healthier, and I know he doesn't expect me to go cold turkey vegan overnight, nor does he expect me to ever be vegan, but I've been feeling guilty for just eating a cookie or taking my meds. I know what I need to do. I've tried to ignore our differences. I told myself that his views haven't affected the way he treats me, so why does it matter? I don't want kids. He has three, which he doesn't have custody of. So it's not like we'd argue over how to raise them. However, his views still bother me. I've even broken it off before Christmas because I was afraid we'd clash. Then a week later, I decided to reach out again. LOL. There's more. I've only ever had awful relationships that have lasted a few months. I've never had someone treat me so nicely, at least on the outside, as he opens doors, always pays, gives me gifts, takes me to work sometimes, always touching or complimenting me, or making me feel beautiful and desired. He's intoxicating, to say the least. It feels secure. He's told me he likes commitment. He's divorced, and he told me that if it were up to him, he would not have gotten a divorce, as he's felt is his duty as a husband to make it work. It's almost as if I just want to ignore everything else just to have the security. I know that's dumb. I want to learn how to not have this thinking. I love myself enough to know that I deserve better and I deserve compatibility, but I'm tired of dating, getting my hopes up, and being disappointed. I want to believe that it's okay to be alone and it's okay to be lonely, but I can't ignore that I feel like I'm betraying my deepest values and beliefs. This paragraph right here shows that they are in the love bombing phase. Talking about he opens doors, always pays, gives me gifts, takes me to all of that. He's love bombing her because in another paragraph, he is showing that he is going to be controlling, where he wouldn't buy her medication and is talking about her getting fat and he would leave. This man is showing why he's divorced. So, yeah, let's see a few of the comments before I close this out. But obviously, everybody is in the comments talking about she needs to leave. This person says he's not amazing, not at all. He's a buffoon. At best, we see why he's single despite his looks and blah, blah, blah. You already know what you need to do to protect yourself. The best thing to do would be to block him on every mode of communication and simultaneously do a deep dive into some skill or topic of study that fascinates you. Oh, and also, staying with this dude would not bring you security. I'm assuming you mean financial. It would only be a matter of time before you broke up and then bye bye to his housing and money. Break up now while he's done the least amount of damage to you and you have at least the least amount of dependence, only feelings at this point on him. This person says, run as far away from this hotep as quickly as possible. He's a walking red flag. And she says, he has said that he's been called a hotep, but hoteps are very pro-black and pro-Africa, right? He doesn't even claim his ancestors came from Africa. And then someone just did this face. I'm going to do this last comment from the OP. She says, I'm in therapy. My therapist straight up told me he's abusive. It's like I recognize why I've clung to him, but emotionally, I'm stunted on how to agree with my brain. This is where I want to remind us all that abuse is not just physical, sometimes it's emotional, mental. So keep that in mind. This man is playing with her mind, and these love bombing and manipulation tactics are working, but she recognizes them, and hopefully, this is the first step, and that she will eventually just run like Forrest. Run, Forrest, run, 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 run. exactly, right here.